This video covers points that will help you stay safe and healthy while working in the fishing industry. In addition to following the instructions provided by your skipper, fishing chief, or supervisor, it's important that you take proactive measures to keep yourself safe. Vessel motion is unpredictable and affected by wave, wind, and the change of the ship's speed and direction. Unlike land, fishing vessels are in perpetual motion and can be hit by sudden waves, making it necessary for crew members to watch their footing and surroundings at all times. A lack of situational awareness can result in accidents or falls overboard. Waves can rise up unexpectedly from any direction and pound the deck, causing injury to crew members and even washing them overboard. Take the following precautions to keep yourself safe from waves. Prepare for falls overboard by always wearing a life jacket. String safety rope as needed. When vessel motion is especially rough, all movable objects must be secured in place. Otherwise, they may pose a safety hazard. The vessel and waves will not follow a steady rhythm. Always be prepared to deal with unexpected lurching and waves. Now, here's a question. Sudden lurches while you're climbing up or down stairs can cause you to fall. What can you do to prevent this? You have 5 seconds to think about it. Here's the answer. Follow the 3-point rule when going up or down stairs and ladders. The 3-point rule means that of your hands and feet, 3 points are always in contact with the vessel. Always hold the handrail with one hand. Always keep in mind that the vessel moves erratically. When working on deck, always keep an ear out for warnings from the lookout posted on the bridge or deck who is in charge of watching the waves. This is particularly important when performing fishing operations at night, as the deck lights make it difficult to see the water's surface. Organization, tidiness, and cleanliness are vital for working safely on a constantly moving vessel that is frequently buffeted by waves. If deck areas are not kept organized, tidy, and clean, crew members can trip over loose objects or be hit by sliding objects, such as containers. Organization is about distinguishing between what is needed and what is not, and disposing of the latter. However, please bear in mind that throwing certain items overboard is prohibited by law. Please follow your superior's instructions regarding disposal. Tidiness is about sorting the items that you need and keeping them in a handy place so that you can safely, easily, and immediately take them out when needed. Each fishing vessel type has its own standard regarding tidiness, so please follow your superior's instructions. All heavy and loose objects must be secured. Cleanliness is about removing dirt and garbage and keeping areas clean. Deck areas will be dirtied by fish blood and grime during fishing operations. If not cleaned properly, these increase the risk of slips, falls, and other serious accidents. The vessel's interior must be kept clean as well. Good hygiene is about washing your clothes and hands, disinfecting cooking appliances, and maintaining a high level of personal hygiene. It is crucial to preventing sickness. There are many hazardous objects on board. These include high-pressure gases, flammable materials, and toxic substances. Please follow the warning signs and your superior's instructions and handle these items with the utmost care. High-pressure gases include acetylene gas for welding and freezer refrigerants. The risks associated with these are fires, explosions, gas poisoning, suffocation, and frostbite. Be careful not to move them unnecessarily from their storage place. Apply a strong force to the canisters or damage the valves and pipes in any way. Flammable materials include the following: engine fuel, kerosene, paint and paint thinner. Do not bring ignition sources near areas where these are stored. Toxic substances include dilute sulfuric acid for battery fluid and descaling agents for seawater pipes. Inhaling gas or touching a solution can result in poisoning or inflammation. Protective gear such as goggles and acid-resistant gloves must be worn when handling these substances. When using cleaning agents for disinfecting, be sure to use a safe dilution rate. Here are other hazardous materials. Many injuries have been caused by shark teeth, tuna fins, and marlin bills. Exercise caution and avoid direct contact. A variety of signs are posted about the vessel to help prevent accidents. It's important that you familiarize yourself with their meaning. Let's take a look at some of the main types. Prohibition signs prohibit entry or a specific action. Warning signs urge caution. Safe condition signs indicate the location of emergency exits, first aid kits, stretchers, and more. Fire safety signs indicate the location of firefighting equipment. Mandatory action signs display instructions that must be carried out. Hazardous areas are marked off with yellow and black paint or rope to warn of danger. Now, here's a question. These 3 signs are appearing for the first time in this video. Please connect the signs with their meaning. Here is the answer. Crew members must wear work clothes and safety shoes or rubber boots while on duty. Rubber safety boots, like safety shoes, protect your toes from impact. Protective equipment such as life jackets for work, safety belts, helmets, and goggles must be worn according to the task. sleeves and jacket fronts must be buttoned or firmly closed to prevent them from getting caught in rotating machinery. Glove fingertips can also get caught in machinery if not worn properly. When using a safety belt lanyard equipment with a shock absorber as a lifeline, the meter-long elongation of the shock absorber must also be taken into account. Helmets with face shields will protect your face from thrashing fish and errant hooks. Now, here's a question. There are 3 things wrong with this outfit. What needs to be fixed? Here's the answer. The gloves must be pulled on all the way. The life jacket must be properly fastened. The helmet chin strap must be properly fastened. Now he's good to go. There may be day-night reversals where you work during the night and rest during the day, or you may be required to alternate between short work and rest periods. It's vital that you rest properly, as poor health can lead to injury or illness. Take proper breaks and maintain your own health. It's also important to keep an eye out for your fellow crew members. Remember, even if you were to become suddenly ill, the vessel cannot immediately return to port. In Japan, companies are required to have their workers receive an annual health checkup. Please be sure to take it. In addition to the annual checkup required for the health certificate in your pocket ledger, please utilize the free health consultations that are made available every September as part of the Safety and Sanitation campaign for seafarers. Heat stroke often occurs when working on deck under direct sunlight or in hot and humid environments for long hours. It can be fatal if not properly treated. The following cases are possible heat stroke and must receive immediate attention. Rest in a cool area if you experience dizziness or lightheadedness. Receive treatment in the medical room if you experience nausea or weakness. Emergency transport is needed if a person cannot walk straight or is unresponsive. Prevent heat stroke by replenishing your body's supply of water and salt, even when you don't feel thirsty, and taking regular breaks in a cool area. Hypothermia is caused by prolonged exposure to cold rain, wind, or waves, and can be fatal. Crew members that are shivering or experiencing lightheadedness from the cold should warm themselves and drink something hot to raise their body temperature. Hypothermia can be prevented by taking proper breaks in a warm area. Influenza, viral gastroenteritis, and other infectious diseases can spread quickly in a vessel's cramped quarters. It's important to keep living spaces sanitary. To prevent food poisoning, be sure to sterilize water and refrain from drinking non-potable water. All cooking utensils must be disinfected regularly. Lifting heavy objects or working in an awkward position can lead to back injury. Do not lift heavy objects incorrectly. When needed, lift them together with other crew members. Persistent feelings of isolation or alienation can lead to mental disorders such as depression. Strive to get plenty of sleep and rest. Good communication with your crewmates can also help alleviate everyday stress. Please proactively consult your superior or fellow crew members if you experience anxiety, insomnia, distress, or ill health. The entire crew will need to work together to extinguish fires and rescue crew members that have fallen overboard or collapsed in holds due to oxygen deficiency. And if the vessel should happen to sink, the crew must launch the life rafts, evacuate the vessel, and await rescue together. Each crew member will be assigned duties to perform in the event of an emergency. Please check the muster list immediately after boarding and confirm the duties that you've been assigned to. It's important that you understand what is required of you, so please ask your superior if you have any questions. Please memorize the signs and signals for fires and other emergencies. Please also confirm the steps to take when you discover a fire or see a person fall overboard. Now, here's a question. As the first person on the scene, should you try to help the person or should you raise the alarm? Here's the answer. You must notify the other crew members. Your first duty is to raise the alarm. Do not attempt to extinguish a fire on your own, and do not jump into the water to rescue a person who has fallen overboard. Most fishing vessel accidents occur during fishing operations. Fishing vessels are equipped with all sorts of powerful machinery. Some have protective covers and guards. However, they will not stop automatically when they encounter an obstruction. Even those with emergency stop buttons require manual operation. There have been numerous incidents in which crew members have gotten tangled or caught in fishing gear, resulting in limbs and bodies being crushed or twisted. Case 1. During a hauling operation, a crew member who was bundling nets with a sling got his right hand tangled in the sling and was dragged upward by the winch. The task of bundling the nets was being performed by 2 crew members. The accident occurred due to a lack of attention. The signal to winch in was given without confirming that all was clear. Preventive measure. Crew members must always pay attention to their co-workers' movements when working in pairs or teams, and only proceed to the next step after confirming their co-workers' safety. Case 2. A crew member was using the net hauler in rough weather. When the vessel rolled heavily, the crew member lost his balance, and the left arm sleeve of his raincoat got caught in the net hauler. The accident was caused by a loss of balance, proximity to the roller, and the roller not being stopped in time. Preventive measure. When working in rough weather, crew members must assume a stable posture to keep from losing their balance and should keep clear of rotating equipment. A lookout who is ready to initiate an emergency stop must also be posted. Back injuries, muscle injuries, twists, and sprains are caused by lifting heavy objects or working in unnatural positions. Case 1. A crew member was attempting to lift a 30-kilo basket and pour the catch into the sorter when the vessel rolled heavily. The crew member was thrown off balance and sprained his right hand. The accident occurred because the crew member tried to lift a heavy object alone and was unable to maintain his balance. Preventive measure. The crew must keep in mind that working on a vessel is very different from working on land. Heavy objects must be handled by 2 or more crew members. Crew members must also be on guard for sudden movements. Remember that any injury to yourself will greatly inconvenience the rest of the crew. Do not hesitate to ask for help. Case 2. A crew member was flicking a bonito onto the deck when the fish began thrashing and came off the hook. Thrown off balance, the crew member attempted to keep his footing, but ended up spraining his back. The accident occurred because the crew member did not anticipate the possibility of the fish coming loose and was caught off guard. Preventive measure. Both ankles should be wedged under the water spray chumming system pipe for a secure hold. Always keep in mind that the hook can come loose and the line can break. Assume a stable posture and stay alert. Falls are caused by tripping or slipping on deck areas, steps, or objects. Crashing into the ground or an object can result in serious injury and even death. Here's a case study. While loading food supplies, a crew member slipped and fell from the deck into the fish hold, smashing his right knee. The accident occurred because he assumed that they were safe in port and was not anticipating vessel movement. Preventive measure. Bear in mind that fish hold openings, fishing gear, and protrusions are found in the narrow spaces on deck. Pay attention to your footing even when the vessel isn't in motion. And avoid carrying objects in a way that obstructs your vision. Most falls overboard occur due to tripping, being thrown by the motion of the vessel, becoming tangled in fishing gear, or being swept away by a wave. Falls are a leading cause of injury deaths. While most incidents occurred during fishing operations, there have been cases in which drunk crew members have fallen overboard while urinating from the ship's side or while passing between ship and shore. In many cases, there are no witnesses, and the cause remains unknown. Always hold the handrails or bulwark when standing at the end of the deck. Case 1. Floats, ropes, nets, and other equipment were being shot out in turn during a shooting procedure. When the final rope was shot out, a crew member fell from the slipway with the rope and went missing. The accident occurred because the crew member was working close to the rope, and the other crew members weren't paying attention to their co-workers' movements and position. Preventive measure. Crew members must use lifelines appropriately. Watch their step on the slipway. Wear safety footwear with slip-resistant soles and not step over ropes or place their feet in the bight of a rope. Clear signals are required while working. Crew members must also keep an eye out for each other, call out to each other, and confirm each other's position. Case 2. A crew member was folding nets while in transit after a hauling operation. He lost his balance, fell into the water, and went missing. The accident occurred because the crew member was working alone in a poor footing area. And when the motion of the vessel caused him to lose his balance, there was no guardrail or handhold for him to catch on to. Preventive measure. In poor footing areas, such as a deck covered with nets, it's important to pay attention to your footing and have something to hold on to in the event that you lose your balance. According to law, all crew members must wear a lifeline or life jacket while working on deck. In addition, you must employ a buddy system or post a lookout. Life buoys and other life-saving tools should be kept close at hand. Although those working in the aquaculture industry are not aboard vessels, they must also stay alert while at work. Case 1. A worker ran across a wet floor, slipped, and fell. Preventive measure. Workers must wear slip-resistant shoes and not run on wet surfaces. Case 2. A worker tried to remove garbage from the rotating part of a conveyor belt and got his hand caught in the machine. Preventive measure. Always turn the machine off before removing caught scraps or cleaning the machine. Please familiarize yourself with these points so that you can stay safe while working in Japan and return to your family in good health.